Appeal Court sacks Governor Caleb Muftuang of Plateau State. Scores killed as Boko Haram ISWAP fighters clash in Borno. Federal government releases 4,068 inmates nationwide. On the foreign scene, dozens killed as Israeli army continues pounding southern Gaza. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We start in Abuja as the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has nullified the election of Governor Caleb Muftuang of Plateau State in the March 18 governorship exercise. A three-member panel in a unanimous decision on Sunday held that Muftuang was not validly sponsored by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as provided by Section 285, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution. The panel held that the appeal brought by Nentawe Goshwe of the All Progressive Congress succeeds as the issue of qualification was both a pre- and post-election matter under Section 177, subsection C of the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 and Section 80 and 82 of the Electoral Act of 2022. The panel agreed with the appellant that the failure of the PDP to comply with the order of the Plateau State High Court in Jos between Beatrice B. Kaze and 11 others versus the People's Democratic Party and 24 others, directing it to conduct valid ward, local government and state congresses before nominating its candidate for the various elective posts and the court order of the Court of Appeal order. Now, the panel also set aside the judgment of the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal for being, quote, highly inconsistent and breach of fair hearing by relying on expunged witnesses' statements to refuse Goshwe's appeal. Now, the panel ordered INEC to withdraw the certificate of return issued to Caleb Muftuang and issue a fresh one to Goshwe. Staying with that story, the Plateau State Police Command has successfully suppressed wild reactions of residents and party loyalists in reaction to the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which invalidated the election of the PDP administration in the state. The command had early Sunday morning placed anti-riot police officers at strategic locations and flashpoints across Plateau State capital. Daily Trust gathered that the policemen were placed on red alert to respond to any violent reactions from any quarters. Now, the police were also under the instruction of the police commissioner to prevent any form of protest as a result of the court judgment. A police officer who pleaded anonymity informed Daily Trust that they will remain on the streets in the next 1 week to forestall any breakdown of law and order. The police vans were seen stationed at the Secretariat Junction, Old Airport Junction, First Gate, Datinkoa, PRTV Roundabout in Rayfield, Bukuru Area 1 Junction in Rayfield, Bauchi Road, Tudunwada, Angwaru Kuba and Faringada Market, alongside other locations. Now, it was also difficult for party loyalists to take to the streets when the news of the judgment filtered into the city of Jos on Sunday afternoon. Let's speak to our correspondent in Jos, the Plateau State capital. Ado Musa is standing by for us via phone. Ado, good evening and thank you very much for making the time. Now, just quickly, tell us how Plateau State is reacting to this development vis-a-vis what the police is trying to do to maintain law and order.
Yeah, honestly, here on the Plateau, soon after the pronouncement of the judgment, we have been seeing different mood. We have the bad mood and the also good mood. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ado Musa. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, okay, yes. People appear to have a kind of a bad mood. Some appear to have a kind of a good mood. So, at the moment, normal activities are ongoing. Security personnel are also stationed at different strategic places to prevent any breakdown of law and order. For example, when you go to Yakubu Gawangwe, a popular major highway, you see soldiers and police stationed at different strategic locations. For example, when you go to Appeal Court Jos, we also have soldiers and armor personnel carrier stationed at that place. When you go down to Oliapo Junction, down to popular Mararaban Jama or Suranabout, you also have security personnel everywhere just to prevent any breaking law and order. So the situation at the moment everywhere is peaceful. Only that those who have won are not happy, they are angry, they are saying that the judgment was not right. While those who have won are happy, they are also saying good things about the judgment. So
right.
The situation is calm at the moment. No report of intimidation, no report of violence anywhere at the moment in Jos.
Has the state governor or the PDP responded to this judgment so far?
So far, there has been no any official communication by either the government or the PDP. We only hear comments from the supporters of the two political parties, that is the APC and the PDP. Just like I have said, the supporters of the PDP, they are not happy with the judgment. But at the moment, there is no any official statement by either the party, that is the PDP, or the government.
And is there a concern here? Because from the reporting about the police maintaining law and order, they're trying to stay on the streets for as long as possible to make sure that there is no breach of security across Plateau State. I mean, this tension has been building for the past couple of weeks since the notification of some of those House of Representatives and senatorial seats won by the PDP in Plateau State. What is your reading of the political atmosphere in Plateau State right now?
Honestly, the announcement by the police with regard to the security issue following the protest by the PDP supporters has indeed contributed to what we are witnessing today. Because if not for the presence of security, possibly a protest of that kind may have been organized. But with the security personnel stationed at every strategic location, including the police and the soldiers, that has helped a lot in maintaining law and order since from the pronouncement of the judgment. Even though the security personnel were stationed since morning, but up to this moment, as I speak to you, these security personnel are at these strategic locations. Anywhere you go, you see them.
Right. And is their presence in any way disrupting, say, for instance, business activities? Are people feeling anxious about the presence of police and soldiers on the streets?
Well, like when I went around, I went to a motor park. I saw how activities were ongoing. I went to different business places where I also witnessed that business activities were also ongoing. And the fact that people were very concerned before the pronouncement of the judgment, that didn't stop people from going about their normal activities. Prior to the judgment, people were so much concerned about when this judgment will be delivered and how it will also be delivered. But after the judgment, you can see that people are still going about their normal activities. The fact that, yes, there was this fear that possibly whichever way the judgment goes, there may be a kind of protest or disagreement between party supporters. But surprisingly, since after the judgment, we have seen everywhere looking peacefully. We have seen people going about their normal activities, no intimidation, no harassment, no protest at the moment.
All right, Ado Musa, thank you very much for that update. We'll keep tabs on this developing issue. Thank you very much for the update. Ado Musa there speaking to us from Plateau State in reaction to the appeal court verdict nullifying the election of Governor Caleb Mufwang of the PDP. Now, moving on to some of these other stories, over 60 terrorists have been neutralized in a renewed clash between extremist groups Boko Haram and the Islamic State for West African province ISWAP in Borno State. The attack was said to be in retaliation for the massive killing of ISWAP fighters by the Buduma faction of Boko Haram, which had also seized most of their territories. A report by Zagazola Makama, a counterinsurgency expert and security analyst in the Lake Chad region, alleges that the fight broke out between the two groups in Tumbung Ali Island in Martia local government area of Borno State. It quoted intelligence sources as saying that 6 boats belonging to the Bakura Buduma faction and 4 JAS element boats packed with fighters were destroyed. The sources also stated that the casualties on both sides could be more than 60 as the fighting continues. Now, the federal government has released a total of 4,068 inmates in all the custodial centers across the country in an effort to decongest the custodial centers across the country. Minister of Interior Olubumi Tunjiojo said this, that the inmates freed were those held on account of their inability to pay their fines, as penalties for their crimes can now regain their freedom following payment of their fines by the minister and other corporate bodies. Here's a report.
The minister speaks at an event to flag off the payment of fines and empowerment beneficiaries at the Kuje Media Custodial Center in Abuja.
Our correctional centers must be reformatory, rehabilitatory, and of course, must protect the dignity of the inmates.
Comptroller General of Corrections, Haliru Nababa, said the release of the inmate was in line with the commitment of the Minister of Interior, Olubumi Tunjiojo, to sustain the ongoing reforms in the paramilitary services in the country. He noted that overcrowding of inmates has been a perennial challenge faced by the NCOs, saying the federal government's gesture will go a long way to decongest the custodial centers across the country.
This sole initiative of the Ministry of Interior under your programmatic leadership has set a very laudable pace for individuals, corporate entities, and other stakeholders.
Also, representative of the Prison Rehabilitation and Welfare Action, Barrister Ogechi Ogu, emphasized the need for effective administration of criminal justice, while she called on judiciary, police and Ministry of Justice to rise to the occasion.
The need to address the issue around congestion. So what this simply means is that it is expected that all the other agencies of the criminal justice system should take clue from the Ministry of Interior and do the needful.
May God continue to minister to him. May God continue to direct him. The all inmates are so happy. We are so happy so much. And then what we need for the government to also, we need the government to also embrace us as they see us. Let them support us.
The highlight of the event was the flag-off of the release of 4,068 inmates with the option of fine and compensation nationwide by the Minister of Interior.
Well, you're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up, we tell you the story of Abuja's red light district and its booming market. More on this and many other stories up ahead after this.
As night falls in Abuja, the city's dark side comes to life.
Yanzu fita yawon akwai abun da nake sawa a jikina. In dai ba da zuciya ɗaya za ka ɗauke ni, mu tafi akwai abun da zai faru. Yana nuna mini.
The speedy underworld of commercial sex work is flourishing in Nigeria's capital city. Despite the dangers and health hazards, young women join the trade every day in hopes of earning quick money and a life of luxury.
Every day, when I wake up, I used to ask myself, why am I doing this kind of thing? If I see myself on the street, I used to shed tears every day.
They say their families have no idea what they do, while their tears suggest some remorse, maybe pain and even regret. These ladies hope others will learn from their story.
Welcome back to the news. Here's a quick reminder of our top stories. Court sacks Caleb Mutfwang as governor of Plateau State. Scores killed as Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters clash in Borno. Now, Bayero University, Kano, is among the educational institutions in Nigeria that has excelled in many fields of study, which makes it an admiration on admission seekers who come from far and near to tap into its vast port of knowledge. In this report, Trust TV's Salim Umar reports on how foreign students from China, Germany, are studying Hausa language at the famous institution of learning and how they're adapting to the culture and traditions of the state.
Marka, Nafisa, Habiba, Larai, Baraka, and Zahra are all Chinese nationals with their real names in their native dialects, but have adopted these Hausa native names for themselves because of sheer interest in the language. Garba, formerly known as Gabor, Henry Rasbaja, is also from Hamburg in Germany, alongside the 6 Chinese nationals who are studying Hausa language at Bayero University, Kano. Dressed in the local attire and emulating the cultural and traditional ways of the people, one can only identify these individuals by their skin complexion as they mingle in the midst of residents. Lodged at the old campus staff quarters of the university, they are adequately catered for with security and mobility. An 18-seater bus was provided for their transportation to and fro whenever they have lectures, which usually takes at the new site campus some few kilometers away from their place of residence.
Na zo daga birnin Tianjin a kasar Sin, ina koyon harshen Hausa a cikin sashen harsuna Najeriya. Muna koyon harshen Hausa a nan. Harshen Hausa shine harshe ne cikin dogon tarihi, cikin dogon lokaci. Mun sami sha'awa a nan. Ina so wani karin magana ana cewa sannu ba da hana zuwa.
Like many other educational institutions that have achieved excellence and recognition in countries around the world, Bayero University Kano has been blessed with admirers and slot seekers to read one course or the other and tap from its vast pot of knowledge. Foreigners are not left behind in this regard, as the academic institution has proven its versatility, integrity, and commitment to producing top-notch and competitive students. It is rivaled among its peers, which makes it more attractive to communities and individuals around the world. One thing that cannot be taken out of this skin is the aspect of language, especially one spoken in its domain and local dialect, Hausa.
Wanda ake jinsa cikin salo na yawo hankali domin isar da sako da kuma zaben kalmomi da jeranta su.
Over the years, BUK has graduated more foreign students year in, year out from different faculties and departments, and the Hausa language is one focal point where you find these individuals more. These foreigners said they are purely in Nigeria and BUK to learn the language, but love and interest they developed for long. Speaking, one of their lecturers, Kamilu Dahiru Gomaja, who spoke on the development of the language worldwide, said the students are trying as they can already read, write, and speak.
Hakika mu ma muna jin daɗi da yadda mutane misali.
They are actually improving in learning the language.
The students are also not finding it difficult in relating with Hausa language, which they said has become part of them.
Bayero University is one of the pioneer universities in the country to award a degree in Hausa studies. And as a foreigner interested in learning the language in Nigeria, one has several options available. Hausa is widely spoken in northern Nigeria, and there are various institutions and resources that cater to language learners. It is a Chadic language spoken by the Hausa people in the northern part of Nigeria, Niger, Ghana, Cameroon, Benin, and Togo, and the southern parts of Niger, Chad, and Sudan, with significant minorities in Ivory Coast. Salim Umar Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, with millions of Nigerians living below the poverty line amidst the crisis of unemployment and poverty in the country, some young women have turned to a life of prostitution to make ends meet. In this special report, Trust TV's Mariam Ishaq shines a light on the harsh realities of life for sex workers in Nigeria's capital, Abuja.
In the heart of Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, is a popular area in Garki known as Lagos Street. Popular for its pulsating nightlife, it attracts a number of people for varied reasons. But beyond the trade and leisure lays other vices perfectly masked in the darkness of night. The red light district is dotted with brothels and clubs, which serve as havens for both commercial sex workers and clients. Joy, not her real name, is a 32-year-old single mother of one. She has been in this business for 8 years, with little more than nerve-wracking experiences to tell for it. For other commercial sex workers also, this moral compromise comes with their consequences.
The man, he picked me from drumsticks and we are going towards, he told me that we are going to Guarimpa after we reach area 1. Then you now remove his gun. After we don't already do everything that we're supposed to do inside the car. So he can still revise the motor again to a pour and about. When we reach transformer, he now remove his pistol. He want to shoot me that I should go out of his car. So I have nothing to do now. I have nobody to help me. Only God to help me. So I just dropped out of the car, and in the midnight, there was nobody there.
I have a friend who was into this same prostitution. She is in a terrible state now. When she started, she had everything going for her, but now she is in a pitiable condition. Before now, she has a car, but now she doesn't even have anyone to give her 500 naira. Some people visit to help her. She is suffering from different illnesses, ranging from HIV and paralysis. This is the result of prostitution.
Though these drops of tears could suggest regret, these women are nudged on by hard drugs and pimps. Aliyu, not his real name, is a pimp.
To be honest, it is not really much. Sometimes we make 2,000 naira or 2,000 naira, but if you are lucky, you could get 5,000 naira. There are some women that come to meet me while I meet others on the way through business because I like to wander. I visit places like Durumi, Wuse, Mabushi, Kabusa, and other areas. I may see a lady and pimp her to any interested man, and they will ask me to take them to the location. We have access to 16, 17 to 18-year-old girls.
There are health hazards in sex trading.
First and foremost, we'll talk about the sexually transmitted diseases, because of course, most of them will want to go with protection. They would like their partners to be capped up, they wear their condoms, or they could be on diaphragms themselves, but some of their patronizers might insist on having raw sex, and sometimes they even oblige to this, leading to a lot of sexually transmitted diseases, the HIV, the syphilis, the gonorrhea, chlamydial infection, so much of them.
Amidst Nigeria's reputation as a deeply religious nation, the prevalence of commercial sex practice in the country does not shift the grounds on what religion sees it to be.
It is sinful for one to engage in adultery. Adultery is haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Holy Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Do not go near to adultery. This shows that adultery is haram. Whether one is doing it for the purpose of earning living or for the purpose of satisfying one's desire, it is still the same. It is haram. And taking it as a means of livelihood, it is very, very wrong for one to engage in commercial sex in order to earn his living through that means.
Christianity as a religion highly condemns the practice of commercial sex and all forms of filthiness. The Bible encourages all men to work with dignity and respect to earn a living rather than engages in commercial sex.
This social enigma called prostitution has robbed these girls of the contentment that comes from a legitimate pursuit of skill and career, offering a sad and consequent end.
Well, let's take a look at developments on the international scene. About 31 Palestinians have been killed in separate strikes that took place at the Nuseirat refugee camp and another refugee camp in Gaza. 2 journalists are also among the victims. Dozens of people, including children, have been killed in Israeli attacks on UN-run schools in northern Gaza. Witnesses have described being forced to leave Al-Shifa hospital, despite Israel claiming patients, medical staff and war-displaced persons left voluntarily. At least 12,000 people have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza since the October 7 attack by Hamas. The official death toll from Hamas's attack stands at about 1,200. Well, that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. Thank you most kindly for your time. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more of our contents, and you can visit trusttv.com for the latest news stories. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.